Alrighty, let's talk about expiration dates and deadlines. How do you meet a deadline? How do you manifest by a deadline? How do you make a deadline? How do you make a deadline? How do you settle for one? Let's get really real, right? When I get a bill in the mail, it's got a date on it, pay by. When I buy some meat, it's got a use by date on it. Dream Driven Day starts on Friday. Not everyone's going to get in. Some people are going to email me next week. That's okay. I love you. That's fine. I'll put you on the list for next time. If there is a next time. Deadlines are demons. Use by dates, expiration dates. Oh my God. You know what? This is not a popular one, but it's liberating. Your protoplasm has a use by date. You see, Neville Goddard says, and I agree, you can't change the date you die. He doesn't say it like that, but you can find it in there. And I wouldn't worry about it. I actually have had people email me, hey, I've looked for hours for that quote. All right, here it is. But here's the question. Why have you wasted hours doing that when you could be feeling it real for something fun? Are you really concerned about the date that someone dies on? Because death is just a doorway. I just put up in Paula's post, Dream Driven Day starts on Friday. She's already in. And that's not a deadline, that's a doorway. Death is a doorway. I want you to walk through more doorways. So many people struggle with this because we were watching a show. Let me change gears a tiny bit, seemingly. And the show had this girl living in an apartment in New York City. And she had 7 locks on her door. And to open her door, she had to undo 7 locks. All right? It took like a full 45 seconds. I'm just giggling. Because I realize that's how most people manifest. They've got like 7 locks. You know, Mr. 27 is a divine number. You should not make fun of it. All right? You see, Dream Driven Day starts on Friday the 13th. Oh, some people are going to not join because of that. They're looking for signs. Signs that it's coming. Signs to stop. Please stop looking for signs. You want to know what the sign is? You being in state. That determines everything. But I seem to digress. While having heaps more fun than most people do. Teachers, students, experts especially. Deadlines. See, where are you imagining yourself being in 30 days? Are you honestly imagining your life being different, or are you disappointed again? Are you imagining being disappointed again in 30 days? See, this is the number one reason. By the way, I'm still going through those 300 plus emails. They keep growing, guys. I sent out the email that said, hey, how's it going? Right? I got a question for you. What's your number one problem when it comes to doing this stuff? Some people have sent me novels, and I've written back to them saying, hey, can you sum it up in like 3 sentences? 3 pages ain't going to cut it, pal. That'll take me an hour. I can't give an hour to one question. But I am giving 25 hours. I'm figuring 5 minutes per email, read, reply. 300, that's 25 hours. Plus I'm making some podcasts. But I digress again, seemingly. Because, you know, there's a deadline for this podcast here. I do them in under 15 minutes. I do 2, maybe 3 a day sometimes. That's 45 minutes a day of free stuff. Wow. I never did that math before. Well, it could be half an hour some days. Could be 20 minutes some days. But meanwhile, you get how much fun I'm having? I'm not deadline oriented. Deadlines just put you into orbit. By the way, I've got a bill. I just found it. I put it on my desk. I set something on top of it. Didn't realize it. I went, Jesus, last night. It's not due to the end of the month. Cool. I'll probably pay it today. Depends if I got time to pay it. Notice I'm not finding out if I got money to pay it. Money flows, guys. Unless you're grabbing at it like a swimmer drowning. Think about it. You can float, you can surf, or you can like claw at the surface of the water and sink. Drowning and dead is not a metaphor. It's a feeling. Stop feeling it. You know, Mr. 20, I will start investing once I'm out of debt. Good Lord, how do you get out of debt? You invest. But meanwhile, deadlines, used by dates. See, I know lunchtime's at lunchtime. And the doorways that I get to pass through for lunchtime to be at lunchtime, God, they're often brilliant, simple, delightful, sometimes a stretch. And a stretch is okay. Because I can promise you, if you move into the state of your wish fulfilled, the hows find a way. We're exploring Matthew this month in Remarkable. And Matthew's the disciple that reveals each, the whole thing about Matthew is you don't get to determine the how. You don't need to. You see, I've got a couple different desires. One is financial freedom. Two is to teach. Now, I don't make teaching the way for it, but apparently teaching is part of the way for it. So is other kinds of investing. See, if I taught for financial freedom, it would feel very different than teaching for the sake of teaching and enjoying financial freedom because, hey, I'm offering something that's actually useful that people will pay for. I'm also doing other things that are useful that people will pay for. But it's all fun. What if instead of deadline-driven, you became truly dream-driven? That doesn't mean you won't have deadlines or use-by dates, quote-unquote. Right? The bill gets to get paid. The meat gets to be eaten. We even have tomatoes right now. Victoria cut them up and she added some lovely herbs from the garden and she's just letting them sit and marinade. The use-by date for them will be today. And they'll be super yummy because we let them marinade. See, here's another key. You don't just push. You don't just persist. Those tomatoes and the herbs are just marinating in each other. Yum. It's transforming from yesterday to today. You're transforming from yesterday to today. But I can promise you this. Here's a little sneak from Dream Driven Day. It's a tiny slice of a way cool fun pie. Different is better than better. As soon as you dive into, I don't know if this one's going to be better than my other one. I don't know if that's better than this. I'm doing this, but things are getting worse. Really? How would you know? You'd know if you were looking for signs. You'd be soaring higher if you simply were imagining so much lovely you didn't have time to look for signs about the one wish that matters most, because you've got a deadline. Skip the deadlines. By the way, most deadlines, there are times where I eat meat that's after the use-by date. I can't remember the last time I paid a bill beyond the use-by date, but let's even say I did. You know, the electric bill, they give me a 10% discount if I pay on time. If I don't pay on time, they give me a 2% penalty. That's like a 12% difference. I don't understand how they can do that, but they do. I don't worry about it. I just go, man, that's a 10% return on my investment. Right? That's cool. I'll pay that. There's this thing called opportunity cost. And what's it costing you when you don't take the opportunity? What's it costing you when you do? We talk about Joseph Goddard. We talk about my guaranteed win method. 5 to 10, 6 to 12. Right before I get out of bed. Specific events of today already having gone my way. I've got a call today with a Dream Driven Day member. I'm so excited. Coolio. I've already imagined her having head gotten gold and me enjoying sharing in the process. I've already imagined up the Yummy podcast. Got another little bonus thing going on with Tony Doyle today. Wait till you see that or hear it. You can actually join in if you're quick enough. It's only 30 minutes, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Meanwhile, here's what I want you to do. Notice in life where you feel dread. Where you feel dread is where you feel dead. I want you to discover dreams. I want you to explore dreams, dreaming, walking through doorways, because here's the deal. There's a doorway every day called lunch. There's lunchtime. For some people, it's 4 in the afternoon. For us, it's around 1, sometimes 12. But there's a doorway, and you get to walk through it. Neville Goddard keeps saying, well, maybe he just said once, but I keep saying what he said. The state that you most commonly return to is your dwelling place. Is your dwelling place, I don't have enough? Is your dwelling place someday? There's another one we're getting from those 300 plus emails. A lot of someday manifesting. A lot of it. As long as you're feeling someday, I'm going to invite you to explore today. I'm going to invite you today to explore today, dreamdrivenday.com. This is the last time we're offering it like this. The next time it's going to be something very different. So, because I'm on fire, I've got all kinds of things going on. You know about some of the instant wins I've shared. You know about the project Tony from Triple D and I are working on. Radio. Anyway, I'm inviting you to dive deeper, soar higher, have heaps of fun. Notice what you're bumping into. Here's the other thing. The moment you commit to a course, Tim Norman and I talked about this years ago. The moment you commit to a course, the course begins. It doesn't begin on the day the lessons start. It begins the day you commit. That's when we start. That's when you start peeling away the layers of the onion you no longer need, that you no longer want to live with. And when you get to the heart of you, all right, join us.